Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. DNA technology is giving one Sudbury family closure nearly 5 decades later.
We hope to bring more closure to families for other missing persons and unidentified remains as the technology advances.
Investigators say they now know what happened to Pamela Harvey. Plus, Canada's top military officer visits the Gateway City.
We are expanding the Canadian Armed Forces. We are developing new capabilities.
We'll have more on General Jenny Carignan's visit to 22-wing CFB North Bay. And all aboard the Northlander, the test train rolls into Northern Ontario, giving train fans an up-close look.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. It's closure for a Sudbury family whose loved one disappeared almost 5 decades ago. Investigators, through advancements in DNA, have discovered what happened to Pamela Harvey. CTV's Alana Everson starts us off tonight.
23-year-old Pamela Harvey left her Lloyd Street apartment on November 16, 1978, leaving her young son in the care of a neighbor. She was later reported missing on Christmas Day to Sudbury Regional Police, now the Greater Sudbury Police Service.
Working in collaboration with the Sûreté de Québec, the Greater Sudbury Police Service, the Coroner's Office of Quebec, as well as the Medical Forensics Department in Quebec. In collaboration, we were able to work together and have an identification identifying a deceased female from 1979 to be that of Pamela Harvey.
Police say the breakthrough recently came from DNA collected from the body of an unidentified woman who was found in March of 1979 in Saint-Eustache, Quebec. It was determined that death was a homicide. Through
the involvement of DNA analysis and DNA technology, familial DNA was obtained from relatives of Pamela Harvey in 2018, uploaded to the National Data Bank, and based on the advancement of the DNA and the technology, just in the last week and a half, they were able to come up with a DNA match. The media release states, through the Sûreté du Québec investigation, it was determined the person responsible for Harvey's homicide died in 1979. Sudbury police would not comment on the widespread belief Harvey's disappearance was linked to biker gangs active in the city at the time. Investigators say the case reflects advancements in forensic technologies. These advancements in this DNA analysis match may not have existed 5 years ago. But however, with the continued evolution in DNA and DNA technology, we hope to bring more closure to families for other missing persons and unidentified remains as the technology advances. Police say Pamela's family has asked for privacy as they navigate this deeply emotional time after 47 years of uncertainty. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
A 13-year-old youth has been taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries after a snowmobile crash in Blind River. It happened Friday during the dinner hour on an Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs trail south of Lake Dewborn. Investigators say the snowmobile left the trail and struck several trees. The teen wasn't licensed and has been issued a ticket. An altercation between 2 accused and a victim has led to drug trafficking charges for 2 North Bay men. That's according to North Bay Police. It happened Sunday in the 300 block of 5th Avenue. The 2 suspects, who were known to each other, fled as police arrived but were caught after a short foot chase. Police say one of the men had suspected drugs on him at the time of the arrest. A 31-year-old man and 37-year-old man are facing several charges. Charges have been laid against an 18-year-old from North Bay after that fatal crash back in January in Sturgeon Falls. A 62-year-old Sudbury woman was pronounced dead at the scene January 24th, while a 15-year-old from West Nipissing with life-threatening injuries died a few days later in hospital. As a result of the investigation, an 18-year-old man now faces 19 charges, including impaired operation causing death, stunt driving, and dangerous driving. The accused is set to appear in court May 7th. As part of this year's budget, Ontario is investing more than $41 million in the School Resource Officer program. While some are applauding the investment, others are saying police in schools is not the answer. CTV's Lindsay Alick with more now.
Sudbury has a small but mighty team dedicated to the School Resource Officer program locally.
We have 2 school resource officers currently, but we have a different model here in Sudbury where we also are supported by community safety personnel. We have about 80 schools within our jurisdiction, and so it really is a collaboration with the school, collaboration with the teachers. What are they needing? How can we best support them?
Unlike other parts of the province that haven't had officers in schools since 2017, Young says here it's all about early intervention and building trust.
I've had actually my sergeant tell us that, you know, someone recognized him at just a community event and approached him and said, "Thank you, you changed my life."
Young hopes the investment from the province will allow the service to hire more officers.
I never hear that our schools here locally don't want us in schools. If anything, we're having difficulty meeting the demand.
The reality is this isn't actually the first time that this government has been plummeting millions of dollars into policing in schools. They have actually already done this previously through the Ministry of Solicitor General, and particularly through the Community Safety and Policing Grant. And so this funding we know is a distraction from what the real issue is, and that is a chronically underfunded public education system, $6.3 billion since 2018.
Policing Free Schools did a campaign tour across the province last fall and made a stop in Sudbury, opposing Bill 33, which received royal assent in November.
What we need are properly funded, supported, and resourced schools, not policing in schools.
CTV News reached out to the Ministry of Education for comment on how the over $41 million would be spent, but we did not receive a response by our deadline. Lindsay Alex, CTV News, Sudbury.
A special visit today to CFB North Bay by the highest ranking officer in Canada's military. CTV's Angela Campbell has more.
Commendation honors for about 10 military men and women from 22 Wing North Bay, from Canada's Chief of Defence Staff, General Jenny Carignan.
The team is incredibly dynamic and engaged and serious about their mission, and also very, very proud about what they're doing and their mission here in North Bay.
General Carignan toured the entire base, meeting with personnel and hearing about the North Bay operations important to Canadian national defence. 22 Wing is home to North American Aerospace Defence Command, or NORAD, which monitors airspace over the country. Given the geopolitical climate and current conflict in the Middle East, Carignan says the work at NORAD is incredibly important. North Bay is a big player in that work.
It is incredibly important that we, Canada, modernize all of our capabilities in terms of detection, but also in terms of defeating the new system. So our geography does not protect us as well as it used to. So that NORAD mission is incredibly important to the security of Canada, but the continental defense as well.
So we have to be prepared, and we have to be ready to respond to whatever the government can ask us to. So, you know, my message to all of our senior leaders is always come, see the amazing people that do that mission on your behalf every single day, and let them explain to you how invested they are, how well they understand the importance of their mission, and how good they are at it.
Carignan says recruitment is a top priority for her in her role as the highest ranking officer in the Canadian military.
We are expanding the Canadian Armed Forces. We are developing new capabilities. So, of course, this is incredibly important in building everything that we need for those capabilities and platforms we're going to be fielding in the future.
This was General Carignan's first visit to 22 Wing North Bay, which employs about 400 people on base. She's trying to visit as many bases as possible across the country, with her next stop at CFB Petawawa tomorrow. Angela Campbell, CTV News, North Bay.
Sudbury's Planning Committee has voted in favor of changing a city bylaw limiting the height of some buildings. Under the new rules, buildings zoned as C2 or C3 could be as much as 20 meters high, an increase of 1 to 2 stories. It's one of 8 initiatives in an action plan to remove barriers to increase the housing supply. The report found a height increase supports smaller infill scale, multiple residential or mixed use buildings that are often not viable at 3 or 4 stories. The vote was passed unanimously at Planning Committee and will go to City Council next week. The North Shore Health Network is advising of a temporary closure at its Thessalon site. The emergency department will be shut down from Wednesday to Thursday. A nurse practitioner will be on site during those times. Sault Area Hospital, Blind River site, and Richards Landing will remain open. Parry Sound looks like it's gearing up for a banner cruise ship season. The town's Chamber of Commerce revealing today it's looking like 16 cruise ship visits are being planned this summer. There will be 12 visits from the Pearl Mist, 2 from Le Bello, and 2 visits from Hanseatic Inspiration. Officials are already working on welcoming visitors to the north and will be looking for help in greeting the guests. The first ship is slated to arrive May 28th. The last will be Thanksgiving weekend. And signs we are likely getting one step closer to the Ontario Northland regularly riding the rails. North Bay.
Hi, Northlander. Hi, and they can see us, so wave.
North Bay residents awaited in awe tonight as the Northlander test train arrived in our region. This video courtesy of Ryan Mayer, who captured the moment the train and its crew arrived in the Gateway City. Ontario, Northland and the province have yet to reveal when regular service might start, only that it will be sometime in 2026. Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions. No weather warnings tonight. Pretty nice because we've had quite a lot of weather warnings as of late. -12 in Kapuskasing, -8 in Wawa, -9 in Champlain. Not looking too bad down in Sault Ste. Marie, Gore Bay. 2 degrees in Parry Sound. We'll have details coming up after the break.
Well, the worst is over in terms of the recent weather that we experienced not only last night, but this evening, continuing into the overnight. Forecast radar indicates we'll get some general clearing, some cloudy skies for tomorrow before the next system moves in. Here it is, Thursday by about supper time. We've got some snow coming into the northeast. We'll keep a close eye on that. Meanwhile, your numbers, Sudbury Nickel Belt. Sun cloud for tomorrow at 0, chance of snow on Thursday at 0 as well. Rain Friday at 5, 1 degree Saturday, freezing rain or rain. Sleet on Sunday at 2 degrees and 1 degree. Loads of sunshine for Easter Monday. How about Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, clearing tomorrow, +1. Chance of snow Thursday. That's pretty well the story across northeastern Ontario. 4 degrees on Friday with the rain, freezing rain Saturday at 1 degree with the sleet on Sunday. And Monday we've got sun and cloud, 2 degrees your expected high. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, cloud clearing tomorrow, -4 your high, but dropping down to -17 overnight. Thursday, some cloud cover. Friday, some sleet at 0. Chance of snow Saturday, 60%, also 0 your high. Another goose egg on the board Sunday, snow and 0 your high, -2 come Monday with loads of sunshine. Moving on over to Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, mainly cloudy, -1 your expected high tomorrow. Thursday, chance of snow at -1. 1 degree Friday, freezing rain and rain, sleet Saturday at 1, flurries 1 degree Sunday, and 0 Easter Monday with the sun and cloud. Normally, you should be sitting at around 4. North Bay, West Nipissing. Chance of flurries tomorrow at 40%, your high of 0. Chance of snow Thursday at 1, 7 degrees Friday with the rain. Freezing rain and rain 2 degrees Saturday. Sleet Sunday at 3. Then some pleasant weather. Easter Monday, the way it should be. Some sun and cloud with a high of 1 degree. So that system may take a couple of days to filter through northeastern Ontario. Pretty well the story is shaping up to be general clearing for tomorrow. Maybe the chance of flurries. Then some snow Thursday. Then we've got rain or freezing rain and sleet for 3 consecutive days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday, a return to sunshine. Easter Monday is always a great time to enjoy and celebrate. Ian, back to you.
Thanks, Rick. We'll take a good look. As Rick noted, we are starting to see some warmer weather, and that means ski season has come to a close in Sudbury. After a one-week extension due to all that snow in March, the city says it's calling it for this year, and they're thanking everyone for a great season. PUC in Sault Ste. Marie says it's conducted a thorough investigation, and the flickering light issue that some customers have been experiencing is not coming from its distribution system. That is from PUC officials tonight that say the reports led to detailed citywide testing and monitoring by PUC. They add the findings are guiding the company's next steps as it works with Hydro One to identify a solution. The company says it will be sharing more information as it becomes available. A Sudbury researcher has secured $2 million in federal funding to turn wastewater into a cancer-fighting tool. As CTV's Amanda Hicks reports, the same technology used to track COVID-19 is now being used for cancer prevention.
During the pandemic, wastewater was used to predict surges in COVID-19 and the flu. Now, Gustavo Yibaseta is applying that same logic to the CancerWise project.
Here in the north, we have a problem with cancer, and we start to asking if we are able to detect biomarkers of cancer on the wastewater, and if it can be useful, and the information can be allow us to understand what's the dynamics of the cancer in our populations.
Last month, Canada's Minister of Health, along with other partners, announced $41 million in cancer prevention research. 19 teams across Canada received federal funding, but here in the north, there was only one. For Yibaseta's team here at HSNRI, it's $2 million over 5 years to turn raw data into life-saving prevention.
For example, to HPV, help with vaccination, advertising, and work towards, improve the conditions of people in the different communities, particularly rural communities.
His team will collect and analyze wastewater samples from cancer centers and municipal water treatment facilities in Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, and Thunder Bay. Researchers will also examine environmental factors like heavy metals or pollutants to understand what might predispose certain neighborhoods to specific cancers.
Understanding the differences between the cities in Northern Ontario, we know that there's differences in wastewater, and so that will also be something that we have to consider to understand how we interpret what we're seeing, and understanding, even though Northern Ontario as a whole is sort of a large population, individual places are different.
Yibaseta says the study is just getting underway with the goal of creating a healthier future one sample at a time. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The City of Timmins has introduced a new live chat feature on the municipal website. It's part of the city's efforts to improve and modernize customer experiences and services. The live chat feature has been available since March 16th, and for testing and refinement, the service is available during regular business hours and is prioritized alongside incoming phone calls and provides a written log of communications. The new feature aims to reduce barriers like hearing or mobility challenges. North Bay Transit is getting a boost from the province today. MPP Vic Fideli announcing $785,000 from the gas tax program aimed at supporting North Bay's public transit system. In a news release, Mayor Peter Chirico says the annual funding from the program supports upgrades to buses and helps maintain necessary transit infrastructure. The gas tax program is expected to provide $380 million in funding to transit systems across the province. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. We'll head to North Bay to see how the troops fared. All three of our northern teams on the ice tonight looking for wins. More in a moment. It was a big night for Northern Ontario hockey fans. All three of our Northern OHL teams looking to forge ahead on home ice tonight. Starting at the Bort Longyear Memorial Gardens in North Bay, here the battalion are taking on the Petes.
And right, far side, long shot, Carrots, a chance at
Cam Warren would open the scoring for the troops, and boy, what a show did they put on for the hometown crowd. There were 3 more goals to help North Bay shut out Peterborough. Jack Lisson making 33 saves in net. North Bay goes on to win this one 4-0 in Game 4 to even up the series at 2 games apiece. The series now returns to Peterborough for a matchup Thursday night. A wild one in Sault Ste. Marie, which would take double overtime to solve, but Carson Andrew would be the big hero here, getting the win for the Sioux. A big night also for Carter George in net. Sioux wins 3-2 to take a 3-0 series lead in the best of 7. The Sioux could seal the deal with a Game 4 getting underway tomorrow night at GFL Memorial Gardens. And a heartbreaker of a loss for the Sudbury Wolves, who would take a Game 3 into overtime on home ice against the Brantford Bulldogs. Brantford wins this 1-6-5. A Game 4 down at the Elgin Street Arena is now do or die. And the Timmins Rock will be moving on to the next round of NOJHL playoffs. This the first series so far to take a Game 7 games. The Rock jumping out to an early lead, making it just too hard for the Thunderbirds to catch up. They win Game 7. They'll face the Lumberjacks now in the semifinals, and the Sudbury Cubs and Sioux Eagles will go head-to-head. Blind River was marching for meals last week by welcoming community leaders to support a local charity. The mayor, fire chief, and others partnered with volunteers to deliver Meals on Wheels. The organization delivers meals to seniors, people with disabilities, those suffering from illness or recovering from surgeries. March for Meals is an annual provincial campaign to raise awareness for the program and services and the dedicated volunteers who make the deliveries. The price of cocoa, like almost everything in our day-to-day lives, is skyrocketing. And that can make celebrating this time of year a little harder. What does this year's Easter prices mean for the year ahead? Here's CTV's Mike Lang.
When it comes to demand for chocolate, Easter is right up there with Halloween, Christmas, and Valentine's Day.
Everyone looks at it and goes, okay, yeah, but it's, the prices are down. Like, why are Easter goods still expensive?
While ingredient costs for chocolate have recently decreased, Tim Webb from KPMG Canada explains that this year's holiday will still be impacted by increased costs from previous years. Retailers typically secure their orders months in advance.
If you're locking in what the products look like, what the specifics are, you're pricing them based on those, on the input costs at that time.
Donita's shop in Aurelia has been feeling the hit. She says they've had to spike their prices on multiple occasions due to increased costs of cocoa and other raw materials.
In January of 2023, we were buying cocoa nibs at $6.95 US per pound. And in March of 2025, the price of those cocoa nibs were now $13 US.
At Lachlan McGurk's Belgian chocolate shop in Alliston, he says they've managed to keep their prices mostly in check despite the fluctuating market.
I'd say our prices have gone up probably somewhere, depending on the product, between 5 and 10% only in the last couple of years, where chocolate prices to us have gone up almost 100%.
In terms of buying chocolates for Easter, shoppers are advised to be diligent in finding products that satisfy their sweet tooth and budget, and to check the label for the percentage of chocolate in what you're buying.
Under Canadian law, you have to have a certain amount of cocoa solids in your chocolate to be called chocolate. Otherwise, it's a convection or something that's called chocolatey.
In terms of price, chocolatiers I spoke with today say the effects of ingredients decreasing in cost won't be felt in time for this Easter, but could positively influence pricing for next year's holiday. Mike Lang, CTV News, Barrie.
Timmins High and vocational school students are preparing for an annual Easter tradition. Soon they'll be visiting 8 areas of the city in search of food and cash donations. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
For the past 22 years, Timmins High and vocational school students go out into the community to collect food for the Timmins Food Bank and the Community Food Bank at First Baptist Church. They also need supplies for their own food bank, the Closet, located within the school.
A lot of students like going during their lunch breaks, looking around for clothes. It's kind of like a shop area, but like for students that actually need it as well, it's very helpful. The food part as well, like the food is provided to anyone that needs it.
On Thursday, school buses filled with TH&VS students will visit various neighborhoods in the city to pick up food and cash.
They're going from Mount Joy across the bridge to the Melrose area. So the kids will knock on the door. They'll be identified with a lanyard that says Timmins High, and they'll just be asking for food or a donation.
Officials with the Timmins Food Bank say this initiative comes at a good time.
Our biggest jump is homeless. It's probably up about 40-45%. I don't really know the reason for it, but we're getting new people every week. I'll tell you, this food drive coming up at TH&VS, I don't know how James Aston does it, but he gets all the students involved, and they do a great job for us.
It's a fun experience for students to get out and feel part of the community. Collecting food like this, a lot of, like Mr. Aston had said, a lot of people in the community leave food out on their porches if they're not available to give it out at that time.
THNVS says students typically collect around 2,000 pounds of food, and they are hoping to receive more since the need in the community is great. The Timmins Food Bank says it serves around 160 clients every Wednesday and gives out dozens of lunches on Saturday and Sunday. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
What great school spirit. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Tuesday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.